on its fucking home screen. Main menu, home screen, one of those two words. Almost posted this in the wrong Discord. So we'll just go ahead and let that rest there for a second. Let me go get shafted in the daily Grand Blue multi. That'll be fun. Yeah. No, nope, not even one SSR. Sick. Why do I even try? Alright. But I think I've let this sit for just long enough. Let's go ahead and continue. That is really loud for whatever reason, my headphones. Let's go ahead and continue with episode 3, The Kidnapped Turnabout. So, last time, Meekins got actually proper arrested, right? There wasn't any discrepancy in that. Meekins kind of just fucking got grabbed. What's up, Nostalgia? Seabay? What's going on? But Meekins got, like, proper snatched, right? It wasn't like, oh, well, maybe they just kind of, maybe they just took him away. They're gonna go question him. She Lang, she Lang, she Bang. They snatched that nigga, right? Mike Meekins has been apprehended for the murder, but we know that's not the case. Because imagine Mike Meekins killing anybody. March 13th, 1:22 p.m. Gatewater Land Main Gate. Chased out like a pair of peasants. Mr. Edgeworth. ESK. I mean, it's hard to save him when he loses his fucking gun. Yeah. Yeah, that's true as well. There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is? The truth? You really shouldn't steal anything, however, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal? A life. It's too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with, ever. Okay, well, I mean, that doesn't even make much sense to what I was saying, because she steals the truth, or the fucking Yatagarasu steals the truth and brings it to the public, right? Well, that's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands, when I apprehend the murderer myself. Alright, damn, Edgeworth. Alright, and I'm gonna go work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go. I still never said she could be my assistant. I'm just going to drop the issue. The first thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, what's up, real assistant? Detective Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, the stadium. Hurry, sir. This is supposed to be hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium. Oh. Good shit. Let's go. A witness? We're here. What's up, Gallus? Yo, what did we tell you about leaving your assigned... Oh, that's just a detective running after Gumshoe. Ah, the jig is up. Enraged, what's going on? Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir. Alright. Those detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves. It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet this witness. Alright. Who we got? Oh, is it the, Is it fucking what? Angel Star? That's who was the lunch lady? I thought there was a witness here. In the fucking van, dummy. No, wait, that's from the theme park. This is the pink Badger mobile. What's up, Exalted? Yeah, I don't see anyone. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, hey, Emma. Okay. Huh. I don't like her name. It's giving me PTSD of Lymel from Star Ocean. Fair enough. What's going on, Emma? And she still has the badge because she hasn't given it to Phoenix yet. It's nice. Long time no see. You are Miss Emma Sky, correct? This girl is the younger sister of my former superior, Lana Sky. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. But I thought she had gone to Europe to study forensics. I can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Are you still studying abroad? You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes scientifically. I've been studying non-stop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist. But it's spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit. I see. What's going on, Emma? I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown these past few years. Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm going to be a super forensic scientist someday. You'll see. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Sky. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to become a forensic scientist. How about you? Wow, that's a great dream. My name's Kay Faraday, and I'm training to become an unstoppable great thief. A great thief?
Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on.
You bet we do.
So why are you here, Emma?
Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break, and then I heard that you'd come back too, so I raced on over here. I really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I had just missed you.
How exactly did you know I was here?
Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. Don't let the silence fool you. Uh-oh. Nostalgia is here too? Yeah, no, nostalgia's just chilling. I used these to track your footprints, and I followed them straight to you. Emma, what the fuck? This set is the greatest. It's so wonderfully scientific. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the special light on it, zing, the footprints light up like electrified noble gas in a glass tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking. Why doesn't she have this fucking PDA all the time? That shit's sick. She should have had that in fucking in Apollo Justice and every other game after that, but that's sick. You can even see the reflection of what she's like, or allegedly what she's typing on her glasses. That's great.
Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than at this very moment. Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed.
Huh? What are you talking about? I think she's just here on accident. There's no way she's the witness too, right?
Are you not the witness that Detective Gumshoe told us about?
Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He practically was yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickeys right now, pal, he said.
Was that man thinking, or rather not thinking?
So let me guess, there's been a murder, right?
Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint in her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on that witness. Now, where did that person go?
Do we get to fucking look in the Badgermobile?
I assume this is another Badgermobile.
I'm always late unless it's your turn to die. Yeah, unfortunately, we got a ways to go before we can get another session of that in. Yeah, but it's different color than the Blue Badger's car.
Yes, this is the retina searing pink mobile.
Or model.
What's that off in the distance?
Is it the Pink Badger? Yep. Oh hey, it's the Pink Badger. Badger, get.
Badger, 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 Badger. Just what does she see in these silly things?
No. Stop playing the song. I think this Badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Are you by chance the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak Badger dance.
Can you just tell me who you are? No, 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 please, no, no, no. Why? Why? Meekins I'm fine with. Meekins is cool because he doesn't have his fucking megaphone. Why is Wendy here? God damn it. Son of a bitch. Why? Why does God hate me? I can't take being inside that stuffy head anymore.
You're... No. Why her? Why here? Why now? I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases. She has since gone out of her way to pop...
No. Dog. Just fall over already. Why couldn't you understand what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really. I was trying so hard to keep the kids' dreams alive by staying in character, but you couldn't pick up on what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking, so I'm just going to be direct.
I had a bad feeling from before, but this just made it official. Today has gone beyond the realm of the typical, not my day, into the realm of waking nightmare.
So you're a friend of Mr. Edgeworth too, Miss Pink Badger? You could say that, but right now I'm just a Pink Badger, dearie.
She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman.
My name is Wendy Oldbag. Just die. Like, if we're gonna do this, just fall over. You can call me Wendy or Granny or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Miss Oldbag. I'm Kay Faraday. First Meekins, now Oldbag. Next time you see a blue badger, just let them rock. Yeah, no, anytime I see a badger, I'm just gonna run away. They're just bad news. The next one I'm gonna run into is gonna be fucking Brushel before he appears in Apollo Justice. What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you? Yeesh, I was just trying to be polite.
Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatewater hotels last time we met?
I go where I'm needed. I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today. I get called in all the time to fill in when there aren't enough hands. But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now. I finally get the chance to see you again, and here you are talking with two young girls. Men are all the same. Okay, Jesus fucking Christ. An arranged marriage with a 16-year-old? Hey! I caught that line. You seem to attract all sorts of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright. One thing I want to see. How old is Emma right now? 18? Okay. I thought she would be a little bit older. Okay, so this is the one person I'm kind of suspecting right now. Just the... Because the butler is dead. There's no way the butler can do it if the butler is dead. And Lauren seems like the only other possible suspect at the moment. She's just projecting. You don't have to read Oldbag's dialogue. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to anyways. Oliver Deacon was found dead. Look on the bright side, Oldbag can't testify. Yeah, that's fair, I guess. We're not going to court. So hopefully we just get to... We get to talk up to her very little.
Kay, please, I'm begging you. By all means, do not provoke her any further.
Alright, the witness. Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be the witness.
Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I don't think fate is going to be so kind today.
I saw what happened. I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that? So it's true. She is the witness.
I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag.
Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. The moment of the murder.
You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes?
Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. There's a lot of characters in this case, not as many as 3-5. That's true, yeah. What Oldbag witnessed. Came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. Looks like we hit the jackpot, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I can't afford to ignore what she has to say. Unfortunately.
What's that unfortunately you tacked on at the end supposed to mean, Edgy Poo? Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little lady. What old bag witnessed? Alright. So, what do we have? We have, I came to the stadium to take a short break. Resting, you saw two men facing each other. And then they shot one shot and the other fell to the ground. It seems like it's press everything.
You mean you took a break from being the Pink Badger?
You may not think it, but it's hard work keeping kids' dreams alive. You smell of sweat, even your hip creaks with pain, you even begin to dream about work. That's the kind of story that would scar a child for life, you know. I love when the cases have a lot of characters because it makes it a bit harder to guess the culprit. Yeah, no, exactly. That's the only problem that I think I have with the DLC case of Spirit of Justice, where it was just like, oh yeah, no, find out who did it. Well, out of the people that are alive, it could only be the butler who has ties to the sister. Well, investigate for a little bit. No, stop. I know who did it. Well, that's why I chose to come take my break here, whippersnapper. I don't plan on playing the part of the dead badger in front of a bunch of kids.
So what did you see while you, the Pink Badger, were resting?
Oh, yes, that. Well. Yep.
You saw two men. Can you describe them for me?
They look like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that.
But did they have any special features? Anything you can recall would be very helpful.
Oh my, don't tell me you're jealous of those two men. Hey, she's right, you do seem pretty worked up over them, Mr. Edgeworth. It's because one of them is a potential fucking murderer, Kay!
I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous.
It's alright, Edgy Poo. Those two were just foals compared to a stallion like you. I thought so little of them that I lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell on the ground.
You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place.
Absolutely. That gun made a terrible racket when it was fired. You didn't try to go help the person that got shot? Okay, considering the person that probably shot them had more than one bullet in their gun. I'm only one person, you smart alecky brat. What could I have done? But I took off as soon as I could to find someone who could help.
Two men, one bullet. It's all consistent with what we found out from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony.
Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without something to jog my memory? Self-centered, aren't we? I like this combination of sprites, fucking Kay's skeptical sprite and Edgeworth's fucking like thinking sprite together. These two characters are definitely the two that should be like on screen together for investigations.
While it was somewhat useful, her testimony also presents us with a new problem.
Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? So, about this new problem.
What is that giant grin on your face for?
Do you want me to show you something really nice?
No, thank you.
Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're gonna like.
What is that gadget you're holding?
What you see before you is a secret weapon of a great thief.
I should have known it would be worthless.
Don't be like that. Ahem. What in the fuck? What do you think now?
What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air.
I'm going to input the necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dared takes wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. What the fuck? Dog! What is this?
What is this?
This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I inputted into Little Thief.
Little Thief? I dare say I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a bit too far.
Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I used it like this... Let's see, Miss Oldbag said that two men were facing each other. And then a gunshot rang out and the victim fell to the ground.
So with this, we can expect the crime scene as it was in the past.
See? So what do you think?
I have to say I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days.
Well, it is the super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu.
Indeed.
Oh, but if there isn't enough information or something is out of place, the recreation could come out a little strange.
In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness testimony.
You got it. You really catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right, now, the simulation is a recreation of the witness testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification.
Feel free to examine anything in the simulation the way you always do. I mean, thanks for the fucking heads up, Kay, but how would you know how we investigate a crime scene? You haven't been with us to investigate a crime scene ever. But whatever. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. And if you find something, I've got Little Thief with me, so you just let me know, okay? Be an investigation. Okay, so this can essentially create an investigation phase out of anything. She's been with us while examining scenes, though. I mean, the one scene that we got, the one like potential crime scene we got to investigate, fucking Shilong just pulled up and was like, "Move, you leave." It's funny that Edgeworth and Phoenix find these kids with broken-ass abilities after the Manfred and Gant cases. Yeah, right. Alright, let's see what we can find out with the blue victim body.
According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here.
That's right, but
if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction.
We have? We also examined around in the isolation room. Yeah, but I mean, like, that wasn't really like a crime scene.
If this is the real scene of the crime, there's something missing that should be here.
What? It's... Is it not? Is it because it's not simulating blood?
Which piece of evidence shows the missing item?
Yeah.
This is the contradiction.
Is something wrong with my recreation?
If this is the real scene of the crime, something specific should be here. If you think back, how did we deduce that the other crime scene was not the real one?
Oh yeah, because there wasn't blood there, so there should be blood here because he was moved. Right. I just didn't think that the simulation would show blood or not. That was my mistake. I get what's missing now. There's no blood on the ground here either, right?
Right. The fact that there is no blood here casts doubt on the witness's testimony.
Poo, how can you doubt me like that? Are you calling me a liar? I know what I saw, and I saw the victim get shot down. You know, I don't think she's lying, Mr. Edgeworth.
To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. In that case, maybe there is another explanation for the distinct lack of blood.
Alright. What do we have in logic right now? Victim was kidnapper. Why is there no blood? I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, technically, if the kidnapper was, or the victim, if the victim was in a costume, then, kind of. Looks like we're good. Yeah, alright.
Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume?
So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers?
I think we can reasonably assume that there is a very good chance that he was. And if he was shot, if he was shot while he was inside one of those stolen costumes,
then Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground.
Precisely. Now, if only we could prove that the victim was wearing a costume.
You think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints, but the problem is finding them since there don't seem to be any around. Yo, Emma!
Footprints, huh? I wonder how we can go about finding some of those.
Yo, Emma! This is amazing. Just feel the power of science.
Emma, about that method you were talking about for finding footprints.
footprints. Ah, finally my expert knowledge in forensics is needed.
Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints?
Leave it to me. My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything.
Very well. If you could please analyze the footprints in this area.
Okay, stand back now and witness the power of science at work. What I like about this one is that from the DLC case in Game 1, Emma had a notepad and she was jotting down notes in it, so this is kind of like an upgrade to that sprite, where she's still taking notes, but she's doing it in this fucking PDA. That's the one thing I think got removed from her character going forward from here. And I don't know how I feel about that. You could say like, oh, that's just a sign of her growing up, but I think it like was part of. I think having that as part of her character was pretty, like, it's quirky to a fault, right? Her writing stuff down. Hey, I found something. Look right there.
I don't see anything.
Oh, that's right. Here, put on these special glasses, Mr. Edgeworth.
These footprints here were definitely left by a badger costume. Judging by the way the prints are layered, those seem to be the newest. Then we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time.
Okay, so we just have to find the costume that has bullet holes in it now, I guess. Okay, in that case, I'll update the Little Thief simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we find out from this new info. I don't know why it's so funny. I don't know why that's so funny.
So the victim was wearing a costume when he died.
And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right?
I see the recreation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be closer, but now something else has caught my attention.
What do you want?
Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please.
Okay, take a break. You saw two men. Well, if you saw two dudes facing each other, then you should recognize one in the costume, right? Yeah. Is it the same mass testimony, though? Seems like it. There should be one more line. Yeah, same testimony. Okay, neat. So, does this mean that Miss Oldback's testimony has a contradiction in it?
Yes, and I believe our best course of action is to compare with your recreation.
See, I just knew Little Thief would be of help. Now let's see if we can pull more info from Miss Oldback to put in the recreation.
For that, we must first find the contradiction in her testimony.
Alright, time to rebut. Alright, so. Did you not see this man wearing a fucking costume? Shake that head.
Two men, how did you know the gender of the people involved? Seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time. Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony.
There we go, Wendy Oldbag. Consistently the worst witness of all time ever.
I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all.
But I'm telling you, I really did see it. I saw it with my very own eyes. From a seat in the second tier.
The second...
Hey, didn't you say it right in front of you earlier? It was, you know, I was using the phrase in the metaphorical sense.
I see our witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense.
Sick burn, Edgeworth. The cushy seats in the second tier are reserved for the hotshot VIPs, which is exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap. I can't see how you could have gotten a good look from there. It's so high up.
We were able to see even the victim's costume from way up there.
Well, I know I saw two people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow. Okay. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, you know. Not like when... Okay, fucking Christ.
let's return to our investigation, shall we, Kay?
You got it. Alright, they were in the stage's shadow. Right?
It looks like they broke the stage down.
Okay, so the murder happened. Well, we need to figure out when the stage was broken down. I guess that means they're done for the day.
Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start its run tomorrow.
Alright. Interesting. What do we have in logic? Stage was... Okay.
If that woman's testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down.
Do you want me to input that bit of info into Little Thief?
Yes, if you please.
Okay. Okay, they were standing the other way around. Because, from the bullet wound that, that Deacon has, it goes up through, like, his abdomen and comes out of the back of his right shoulder. So he was standing up on the stage. I want to get, like, right here.
There is clearly
a contradiction here.
Please stop stealing my lines.
Oh, come on, it wasn't even that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me.
I suppose. In any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way, because there was a very real stage set up in this spot at the time.
Yeesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything?
Yes, well, in any case, we still need to resolve this unusual situation.
Isn't it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage, naturally. Oh, frames? Hey? Right, Miss Old Bag? Yes, I remember now. The killer was standing on top of the stage. See, now let me update the info into the simulation. No.
No, that's wrong!
It's just something so funny about that fucking thing just falling over. Investigation complete, by the way. Well, well, what do we have here? A bunch of hooligans running amok, I see. What's up, Shilong?
Agent Lang, how nice of you to join us.
Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes. What do you mean, your crime scenes? Move.
Agent Lang, we've discovered that the real scene of the murder is here at the stadium.
I see. Thanks.
For what?
I'm just trying to show you my appreciation for all the time you saved me. Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that? Little Thief is not a toy. It also means you were watching? You heard all that shit about the Yatagarasu? Question mark? You too. Sir! Damn, alright then. Them niggas work fast. There you have it, you see? Big boys like me don't need silly toys, little girl. You just used two random niggas to build a stage. The toy was cooler. Now this is a recreation.
So what, do you still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer?
Of course. Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook. Alright, it's time to start yelling at each other. Alright. Agent Lang's logic. This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, he shot from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed. You're really dumb, you know that? He shot him from on high?
How far would he go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime?
He's the most likely suspect we've got, especially given the situation with his gun. Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark. You see, thank you for understanding, my little crow girl. I'm not some common crow, I'm the Yatagarasu, the Raven of Legend.
Fortunately, your conclusion is yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up.
Yeah, we got him. Yep. Shut up. The murder notes, right? Yep. Head shake. Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang.
Yeah.
I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly, after all.
What's that supposed to mean?
You said that the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible.
Huh? Why not?
Recall Mr. Deacon's body, specifically where the gunshot wounds were located.
Actually, I didn't get that good of a look.
Oh, well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with an angled shot from beneath the victim.
Then?
Yes, our recreation had the victim being shot at an angle from above.
A clear contradiction. You're discounting your own conclusions.
No, this one point is the only flaw. This was the mistaken parameter in our recreation.
The killer and victim's locations.
Yes, the locations of the killer and victim were wrong.
I get it. I see what you're trying to say.
I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what we initially thought. It was the victim who was here on top of the stage as he was being shot by the killer.
Go, little thief, go! It's just something about the gunshot noise and then the blue badger just instantly being over. It's just the blue badger just gunshot down.
If this is what happened, it also explained the positioning of the gunshot wounds.
But then what about the footprints?
Since footprints don't lie, we can assume then that the killer also wore a costume.
Okay, I'll try using that data instead. Wouldn't it be hard as shit to fire a pistol in that mitten fucking hand?
Judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I'd say it was a killing between the two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang?
Thank you for your help, little thief. Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. That alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. Yeah, because he was wearing a fucking costume too, right? Another bit of proof. I ask that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of the Blue Badger mobile. The story Officer Meekins told about that shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie. He drove the Blue Badger mobile here and committed the murder. I mean, the tires didn't have any fucking mud on them, right? Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area. If he was driving it around, the tires would have had mud on them.
You believe he moved the body with the car?
That's right. It was Officer Meekins himself who pointed us to the way he did it.
The three-tired tread marks are very telling, however. Is the Blue Badger mobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern?
No, because there's other Badger mobiles. Another bit of proof. Alright. Shut up. Where's the Blue Badger mobile? Taps.
Sorry, Agent Lang, but that's an impossible tale.
And why is that?
Those tire marks could not have been left by the Officer Meekins' Blue Badger mobile. One look at the car would have told you so.
What proves that the Blue Badger mobile had never been to the stadium? The fact that it didn't have mud on the tires.
Take a good look at the tires. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found on it.
Got him.
If this car had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks, then the lack of mud on these tires stands out as the very peculiar indeed.
And how do you explain the tire tracks, genius? Hey, I've got it. What about Miss Oldback's pink Badger mobile? Don't be ridiculous. I was sleeping the entire time in the second-tier seats.
Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, there is yet one more roving store, as I recall.
Oh, you mean the Proto-Badger?
That's right. There was one more parking space inside that garage. And it proves the existence of a Proto-Badgermobile. Agent Lang, I suggest you find this Proto-Badgermobile post-haste. There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence in it.
Got him. GG's. Who's that? Hey, did you hear something? Help? Help? Who the fuck? Help me. Wait, is that supposed to be, is that our kidnap victim? Are you alright? Well, this is something. Looks like we found our kidnapping victim. Where were you all this time? Wild West with kidnappers.
He was in the room next to the one I was held in.
Ran away using underground and got lost. The kidnappers... What is it? I can't understand what you're trying to say. The kidnappers escaped wearing costumes. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but one was a woman.
A woman.
Quite an important piece of testimony. Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop standing there and get your cops on this already. Oh. What's her name? She had she in the name too, right? Fuck. Sheena. They got the shit down. They move it in sync. I'll even let you guys have what the kid said just now. Consider it a gift. Now, are you going to get out of my crime scene, or am I gonna have to get rough?
Again?
Brothers, what's going on, Paladin? You're nothing but a big bully. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go. Oh, no, not you. You're a very important witness for my case. I'm not about to let you get away that easily. Don't count on me to testify because I won't. Not for you. That's right, I won't either. You hear me, you young whippersnapper? Hey, calm down. There's no need for all this hostility. I just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not going to rough either of you up. I give my word. Come now, fair maidens. What do you say? Will you cooperate? Fair maidens? My, you little rascal. You know the way. You sure know the way into a woman's heart. Lang Z says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment and a lady is young forever. Trying to outdo my edgy poo with your fancy smanchy sayings. Let's get this over with. So we're clear, I'm only interested in giving you my statement. Sure, just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be. Mr. Edgeworth. We out. No words, we out. To be continued. What this game is? This game moves really fucking quick. Middle part 2. Okay, well at least we have bigger sections. So we have a beginning, we have a middle, and we have an end. But the specific parts can be split. March 13th, 2:34 p.m. Wild Wild West area. Looks like we got the boot again.
With Lance safe, the focus of the investigation will shift us solely onto the murder.
You mean the infighting between the kidnappers? I think they just put it in to be continued for good save points. Yeah, that's fair. Because, like, thinking about it, you could have combined this part and the previous part, and it would have just been one fine beginning. Right? You could have had a beginning and an end, but, yeah, if you wanted to make it so that it's like, oh, you gotta just, what's the word? You gotta make it so that people have enough break time. They can see the to be continued and just go.
Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper.
Miles, my boy. What's up, Ernesto? Or just Ernest. Tell me it's true. Tell me you've really found my boy.
Yes, Mr. Romano, we found him earlier in the stadium.
Then my little Lance is unhurt?
He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger.
You get between to be continued faster, but there's also more of them? Yeah.
He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang.
Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a dog. Also, how'd you know he was locked up? Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough.
It was nothing.
I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver, but I have to say I'm relieved that Lance is alright. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him. My dear Lance, may I come see you again, your beloved Viola?
A letter?
The way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe he received yet another love letter, you know? Here, take a look for yourself.
Isn't this a breach of confidentiality?
Tender Lender Loan Company. Okay, I thought for a second that it was going to be Violetta, but I guess now this seals it. Because it's from Tender Lender.
It's a very simple love letter.
Oh, hey, let me see. That's really weird. This game really loves callbacks. I mean, you gotta have them. It's from a loan company, Tender Lender. Looks more like a collection bill to me. So did he owe... Did he owe Tender Lender? Did he owe Tender Lender and they were just coming to collect? No Leo Rush? Alright. He loves me not. He loves me not. Aw, it's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try.
Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through.
I suppose, if they were me, then... What?
I believe you said that you were Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct?
Yes, I am, but... Oh, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're not just friends either? I mean, because this isn't just any ordinary ring. Yeah, it's candy. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Ah, it's so wonderful.
You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring?
So which is it? Have you guys not decided you're going out, or is it just one-sided?
Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know?
Bro, Edgeworth is so blind to what love is. Amazing. My father used to work for Mr. Amano, and so Lance and I grew up together. I said it out loud.
I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. So your father was an employee of the Amano group. What did he do?
I heard his job was to fly around the world on Pegasus.
Pegasus?
Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had me there for a second. But now it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, I see. About 10 years ago, he rode in Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned.
Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff legends are made of.
It's been so long, I don't think I'd recognize him if we were to ever meet again. I'm so sorry, Lauren, but I won't give in to the sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live.
About this incident.
Incident? But isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident.
How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped?
Oh, that's because of my woman's intuition.
You based everything on that.
I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange. It really must be destiny. She started fantasizing again. So what are you going to do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
We already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location that might hold a clue or two.
The hideout?
The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout.
But we're still not allowed in, remember?
Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there was no harm in us asking that officer over there to let us in.
You better let us in, homie. Oh, fuck you up. Alright.
What do you have to report?
Sir, nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir.
Where have I heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us take a look around inside?
Sir, Roger, sir. Bro, Meekin's red sauce on everybody.
That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lang order you not to allow me in?
Sir, that's true, sir, but Detective Gumshoe asked me to personally let you in, sir, and I couldn't refuse a request from him. Looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following. Furthermore, I was asked to give this document to you, sir.
What is this? The man in this picture, isn't this Oliver Deacon?
Oh, more specifically, Colin Deveray, the name on the back of that, what's the word? Pendant. The little Pegasus pendant. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why can't I see the picture? Motherfuck. So, is Oliver Deacon, aka Colin Deveray, aka the father of Lauren Pops? It seems like the Pegasus name drop was a little bit too... That's not a Pegasus? Wasn't it just a fucking winged horse? I can't fucking see it from here, but wasn't it a winged horse? I need an actual picture of the crime scene. You have it in evidence? Oh, well, I mean... never mind then. It's just a horse. I thought it was a winged horse. Like a Pegasus. Never mind. Toss what I set out. Alright, whereabouts unknown after his escape from Pen Edent prison. Never fucking mind. Bring what I said back just a second ago. We might have heard for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. Whereabouts unknown after his escape from Pendant Prison. I fucking hate this game. But the name here says Colin Deveray.
It's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Deveray was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago and sent to prison.
What? Then what was he doing here?
Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished.
He must have become
Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he was an escaped felon.
You were like, why can't I see this picture? And I was confused because the horse pendant is in evidence. Yeah, but I wanted to see it around his neck because I forgot that we had got the actual pendant as evidence. And I was like, let's look at the murder notes because that surely has a picture of the crime scene, right? But no, it was excuse me. It was just me being stupid. But yeah, no, we definitely had it. But even still, what I said I think stands now. Colin Deveray, or Oliver Deacon, real name Colin Deveray, was Lauren Pop's father. So was he helping? Did he help her daughter take Lance hostage? Yeah, he was Lauren's pops. Get it? Like the name? I fucking hate this game. Oh, I'm mad again. But yeah, no, they took him hostage for a particular reason, and now I'm assuming that Lance is the murderer, right? That seems a little bit more particular right now. But I think that the shooting in the stadium, I have no idea now. Because that seems a little bit weird. If the shooting actually took place in the stadium, why would they go there, right? That's the big question. Why would they go there after breaking out of, well, not even really breaking out, but leaving the Wild West area? Because at that point, Lance is not technically under lock and key, right? He escaped. So did he just go back for revenge? Now I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and the current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine, let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout.
Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, think later.
More than thinking things through, I think you should try to remember things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer.
It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then the door's been wide open, sir. Did who go back? What do you mean? Because what I'm saying is if the case is that Oliver Deacon kidnapped Lance Amano, why did Lance go back to the Wild West Wild West area to place Oliver's body inside the garage? Why didn't he just leave him in the stadium? Because if I'm being kidnapped by somebody and I happen to shoot you, I'm just going to leave, right? I'm not going to try to set your body up somewhere. I'm not trying to make a getaway. I'm shooting you and leaving. That's the end all be all of me getting kidnapped, right? If I have an opportunity to get my hands on a gun and shoot you, that's a wrap. We're done here.
I'm not sure I follow what it is you're saying. Care to explain in a bit more detail?
Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to go check out the room, so they got about 10 officers to help break down the door, sir.
I see. I guess that means that Agent Lang's leftovers.
I get Agent Lang's leftovers.
Let's see what we find.
March 13th, 2:55 p.m., kidnappers hideout. Alright, so we got a broken mirror, a photo rally poster, or banner, sign, question mark? But this looks to be the room that we saw from the window, or the little gap in the door while Kay and I were technically under house arrest in there. While you were tied up for a while in the room next door. Okay, yeah, I was just saying that. Kay, thank you.
Kay, please, must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity.
Begin investigation. Alright, let's check out in here. Yeah, this is where we were, inside of here. Alright, so they were drinking coffee. Can we test that for what's the word? Can we test that for, like, spit? That'd be a good idea. Maybe I'm crazy, but that'd be a good idea.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Okay. So, what do we got? We have, well, we don't even really need to test the saliva on them, because it looks like they're full. More importantly, there's 3 fucking cups.
Cheap styrofoam cups.
Looks like only 3 cups were used. Let's look at these keys.
I wonder what this key is to.
You got me.
It reminds me of the key we found in the other.
That's it. It must be the key for one of those trap doors.
It wasn't a trap door. You only called it one because you quite literally jumped into it.
Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one? Okay, please. You're just dumb. You got heart, but you're dumb. Why is it that every what's the word? Assistant supporting character to the main character we get is just usually a little dumb. Like they're not all there.
I'm not having this conversation with you.
Damn, Edgeworth. Alright, brown rice. Shit. Alright. So, looks like we got a costume inside this little bin.
This must be where they dispose of old and worn-out costumes. That's so sad. It would seem that they throw away the costumes in pieces.
Trucy really isn't? Yeah, Trucy is like the only one. And Trucy has a higher power level than anybody else. What's this? Looks like I need to stand in a place where I don't have an examine prompt. It looks like a broken... Ooh, is that the sword that the one motherfucker pulled up on us with? What have we here? It looks like a sword. A broken sword.
Strange. Why would it be broken like that?
But Maya, just a little bit not all there. Kay, just a little bit not all there. Athena, just a little bit all not there. We've been kind of passing around the dumb stick, and it looks like Kay just kind of got hit with it this time. You know, nothing wrong with that. Not everybody has to be insanely smart. It's just something I noticed, you know?
Swords don't usually break on their own.
That's true. Pearl, I would say, is smarter than Maya and Kay, but she was also really young compared to them. Yeah, no. Pearl is like one of the unsuspectingly smarter characters, given her age. Pearl is up there.
Alright, then let's think about it this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it for or on something.
There's no way this broke when Edgeworth got knocked the fuck out. Edgeworth got a strong-ass head.
Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later.
Okay. Alright, let's look at the door.
This door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. That line is getting way too much play. That doorknob handle thingy is looking pretty beat up.
I suppose that happens when 10 officers break their way in with brute force.
Hey, that's odd. The lock on this side is completely fine. The lock on this is completely fine. Look, not a single dent.
How is that possible after what the police officer told us?
Yeah, if the lock had been used when the door was busted down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked. So... Okay, now the question is, does this door open out or inside to the room? Because if it opens out, then the door could have just been locked with that sword. Right? Like, you could have slid it through the door handle against the wall, and it would have made like almost a perfect block for you opening it. And that would explain why the sword is broken now, and the door knob or the door lock seems fine.
So the lock on the door leading to the outside is undamaged. How can that be?
Alright. Let's inspect this one more time. Looks like a sword, a broken sword. Yeah. All good doors should open out in case of fire, to be honest. That's for entrances to buildings. Because I'm pretty sure that, like, for your bedroom, assuming you're in your bedroom right now, that door opens in. Most bedroom doors will open in. Same with bathroom doors. But yeah, no, entrances to buildings. I forget which case that was. I forget the name of it, but there was a nightclub that caught fire, and that the door to the club itself opened in, and people couldn't get out. And I think there was like 12 or so deaths. Well, let me look it up. Nightclub door fire. Oh, yeah, 12. Yeah, exactly 12. You know, not 492. It was the Coconut Grove. Jesus Christ. In Boston, Massachusetts, on November 28th, 1942. This is the door in, though, isn't it? Not to the building in specific. Yeah, but the Coconut Nightclub. Or Coconut Grove Nightclub. Caught fire in 1942 and claimed the lives of 492 people. That's insane. Alright, so what do we have in logic? Do we have the door lock? And yeah, we do. Door leading outside, broken sword prop, connect that bitch.
It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock and anyone can see that it was not in use at the time.
But the policeman outside said it took 10 men to get it open.
A door that was locked tight despite not being locked at all. It can only be because of this.
Oh, you mean...
Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. You see how the handle is completely destroyed.
So that's how the sword broke. Broken prop sword, jotted down in my organizer. Alright, I don't think we can connect these, or at least it doesn't make sense to connect these. Let's go ahead and continue looking at everything else. Do we look at the chairs? We look at the mirror? Oh.
Unused folding chairs lean against the wall in their folded state.
Wow, whoever lined these up did it perfectly. They're not even a single hair off. I feel bad using these because it'd be like stealing the perfection away.
I suspect it's more like you wouldn't want to be the one to put them away.
Alright, but we do have... Okay, so interestingly enough, we do have 3 used chairs. And also, I don't think they look like they're perfectly put together. It kind of looks like they're a little bit, you know, misaligned. Are you sure I thought this was the exit? Well, no, the officers had to come down into here and break the door open, right? This isn't the exit to the building. It's the exit to this room. But assumably, I still think it opens out, because that's how the sword locked the door. But my point is that this isn't the exit to the building itself. Because assumably, this door is the same, right? It has the pull on it, so you pull it out. I assume that this door is pretty much the same. Although it's kind of weird that this door has a handle for, like, unless this handle doesn't turn, right? If this handle doesn't turn, then it's fine, but... Yeah, but the opening to the building was just open Wild West, like, saloon door? Exactly. The most safe type of door is not a door at all. Can I look at the chairs here? One rest until I... Okay.
Folding chairs, and by the looks of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers.
There are 3 chairs set around the table. Alright. So, the question now is, the question now is, if the 3 of them were in it together, what caused Deacon to get shot? That's the real concern. Because we can assume that they were all in cahoots if all 3 of them were in here. It would especially the amount of ransom. Maybe I want to see if I can line up the circles for the shadows. Doesn't look like I can. Maybe I'm just bad? There we go. But it would give them enough money to leave and be on their own. It would give... Maybe Lauren really did it, but I still don't see... Like, I still think Lance might have done it, but... I don't know. Once I figure out the potential motive, then I can make sense of it. 3 cups, folding chairs. 3 of these niggas were in here.
The common denominator between the cups and the folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3.
Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers.
Indeed, something isn't adding up, literally. Is it possible that there was a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we've only uncovered more questions that need to be answered.
Frames, please. Yo. Drop kick that nigga. Don't just pop up like that.
What is it?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct?
What are you doing?
Is it Gumshoe? Is Gumshoe just fucking dicking around?
What are you doing suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that?
This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We Badgers also make use of it in our duty. Look, why don't you get out of there first, and then we'll talk, okay? I beg your pardon, miss. Proto Badger, get! Alright, only one more to go.
What are you getting all excited about?
Did you forget? The photo rally, duh. See, look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the Bad Badger, and I'm done.
Oh yes, I vaguely recall a sort of a contest or something of that sort.
What? It's gone, but where did it go?
What happened? What's wrong?
A Bad Badger costume is missing, sir. Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnapper stole it. I heard about how they were stolen, but they said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken.
What? Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone?
Well, yeah, if 3 of them are missing, right, then, and we saw the pink one in there, his should be missing as well, right? Because we've seen the pink, we've seen a blue badger, we are looking at a proto badger. The only one we haven't seen is the bad badger, but there's another spare pink head in there, I guess, because it's in the box. And we saw the bad badger. We saw the bad badger head in there as well, right? That was the one that was just on the floor.
Mr. Proto Badger, please tell me a little bit more about these costumes you use.
Wait, so this guy just isn't anybody, right? He's just an employee?
What did you mean by a Bad Badger costume is missing?
Why, just what I said, sir. We're 1 bad badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each costume on hand at all times. Okay, so because one of them is walking around in the park,
the other should be in that room.
Actually, both of them should be in that room. Huh? What do you mean? Normally we don't use the bad badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at a set time each day. It's the stage show where the bad badger wreaks havoc around the... Why does that nigga got a gun? Also, the fact that the proto badger just has black, soulless eyes, not a good look for a mascot. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that much. And the other badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir.
I'm speechless that such a show exists.
Well, sir, I was just trying to explain to you that the only time that we use the costume. Doesn't make it near impossible to take a picture of the then doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the bad badger? Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I to do, sir?
All this basically means is that our kidnapper stole 4 costumes in total.
And are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers?
No, I don't think that's very likely.
Oh?
Recall the costumes for a minute.
The stolen ones, you mean?
What proves that a 4th kidnapper does not exist?
The fact that there's a pink badger shit still here?
Take that! Yeah. If you had 4 people and wanted to steal the 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a pink badger costume instead?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet the kidnappers decided to steal another bad badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 bad badger costumes, but the question is, why?
Well, one of them got shot, right? Assumably. One of them has a fucking bullet hole and blood in it. So, yeah, you'd probably want to switch those costumes out. Is that it? Do we have... We got logic from that, right? Yeah. Eureka!
The 2nd bad badger costume, I believe that may be closer than we think.
What do you mean?
A costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that it's wearing some very telltale pants?
Hey, you're right. Let's get it out of there and take a look.
As I suspected, it's a bad badger costume. Well, minus the head.
Also, the fucking hand has been ripped. Why has the hand been ripped? Okay.
Look, its hand is hurt. Looks more like something was ripped off of it.
It doesn't have the gun in the hand?
Is this what somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold.
We could use it with the bad badger or the blue badger Bible. That's right. I was gonna say fucking guide, but he doesn't have a gun. A blue criminal with a gun. He doesn't have the gun.
I believe what we have here is an inconsistency.
Between what? A vile criminal with a gun. Excuse me, I had it a little bit wrong. Dog, if you call me a vile criminal with a gun, we just gotta fight. Just say I'm a bad man with a gun. Don't say I'm a vile criminal. I think vile is the worst part.
Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something it should in its right hand its costume is not holding something in its right hand that should be.
Oh, the gun!
Precisely. The Bad Badger was designed to always hold a gun in his right hand. However, you there, did you remove the gun from this Bad Badger's right hand?
No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume.
As I thought, the rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto-Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct?
Big yawn. Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire... Why the fuck can it... If it can fire blanks, it's a functioning gun. Hate to break it to you, homie. If it can fire blanks, it can fire real bullets. We need to use them for the stage show.
It seems that our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun, my dear costume friend.
So... the question is now... can that come into play? Can the fact that it can shoot blanks come into play at all? Because if it can shoot blanks, then maybe they thought it was going to shoot a blank and they accidentally shot Deacon, right? Assuming Lance is still our big potential one, because if he's the only reasons that I have to point to him are the letter, and oh, maybe that's it. Maybe the letter has something to do with it. Maybe they got into a struggle because Oliver thought that Lance was not being faithful to his daughter, and they got into a little bit of a struggle. So maybe the blanks aren't needed at all. But then the question then becomes, what did Wendy see? Is Wendy's testimony completely admissible? I don't discount that as a possibility, but what would be the benefit of bringing the body to the stadium to create a false testimony, right? Questions for later. Investigation complete. Alright.
I think we're about done with this room.
So, what's next?
Well, we found a few answers, but there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay.
March 13th, 3:34 p.m., Wild Wild West area. Mr. Gumshoe, sir.
You gotta hurry, sir. Come on. What is it, detective?
They found a blue badger costume in front of the main gate, sir.
What?
Isn't that what one of the kidnappers was wearing? Bingo. That's why you gotta come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before Wolf Boy does, sir.
Alright, let's make haste to the main gate.
They run in. To be continued. Interesting. Jingle's still pretty nice. March 13th, 3:45 p.m., Gatewaterland, main gate.
Where's the costume detective, Gumshoe?
Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. What? Was it out here in the open all along? Is that just a pendant of wings?
was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. And let's get down to it. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. How many times has Edgeworth said that? What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these two... Hold it right there. I just started looking at the evidence. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? A pendant, huh? It was a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren, yeah. Because her last name isn't really Pops, it's Deveray. Miss Pop's pendant, yeah. Aha, we have you now, Miss Kidnapper. No, you don't understand. Oh, so he calls her Lolly because lollipops. God, I hate this fucking game. I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers. Lance. You're kidding. Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers? Yes. It was me. I held Lance hostage. So, Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over. Hey, guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Again, Mr. Prosecutor, what is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Let me just go ahead and grab that screenshot. Because I'll be using that in the future when the next cop shooting happens. What are you calling a sham? You're a detective, Gumshoe? Ignore that. The officer's gun didn't show signs of being fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see. And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it. Thanks for the confession. Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Pops. Yes? I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder. But why? I'm the kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough? It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear all about the evil deeds you committed today. So are we gonna have Lang interject as well? Because that'd be pretty neato. Miss Pop's confession. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back, after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. No. No. No, we didn't. There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much. Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth?
Yes, it is.
If that is the truth, then it certainly isn't the whole truth, because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession.
Press here? That's what seems likely.
Why do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops.
Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning. Was it ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection?
Raise that shit.
I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you.
But why? Is she gonna cut her hair? What is that sprite? For why? We're total strangers? Yeah, shut up.
Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops.
The fucking dossier on Deacon? Yeah.
Miss Pops, you don't know, do
Oh, am I wrong? How is this wrong? Because it seemed like I would go from this to the pendants, and then that would be it.
But this piece of evidence will tell you exactly who you really are.
Looking at it, I still don't feel anything within me at all. But now I really feel like I don't know anything. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, are you sure the one who doesn't know anything isn't you?
I guess this wasn't it. Alright, I should calm down and listen to Miss Pop's testimony once more. Take another good look at what is in my organizer.
I see kidnappers also weep when they get stabbed in the back. Even as you betray the one you claim to love the most. No, you don't understand. What's there to understand?
What's wrong, Kay?
I can't believe she was betrayed. I kind of feel sorry for her.
I feel a little sorry for her too, however, I also wish she would tell us the whole truth, because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. But I'll give it another careful listen and see.
Okay. I assume I present her pendant then? I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning. Yep. Raise an objection. Yep. Let's get to the part where we fucking present evidence. I mean, the fucking dossier still proves that you aren't strangers. Because I have a feeling that I'm going to be presenting the dossier immediately afterwards. Alright. So. Your pendant. Yep. Why are you showing this to me?
So what about the pendant? This pair of wings, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are.
Mr. Deacon's pendant. Oh, well, fuck.
These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, you're right, they're the same color and they're even made of the same material.
I believe that these two pendants are actually one.
Eh?
Shall we give it a try?
Wow, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
No, that can't be. So the two make a set. It's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything.
You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I will show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant.
Now, dossier? Now, dossier? Question mark?
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Deveray, the name that is etched on the horse pendant.
What? An alias?
I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Deveray's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. This specific session is what reveals the true meaning behind those pendants. Daughter? Mr. Deveray had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops.
That's a lie. That person was not my father. Well, I hate to break it to you.
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe that he was trying to secretly watch over you.
And now he's dead. You sure you killed him?
Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot?
Shut up, Wolfman.
And what is so funny, Agent Lang?
You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you?
What are you trying to say?
Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility.
Is that so? Well, let's hear it.
Alright, let's hear this. Oh, well, let's hear another possibility. Fuck it. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter, but isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
So this is his version of things, how things might have been.
You don't have any proof that either one didn't know of their true relationship, right? You mean they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter? That's right. It's one really rotten family.
Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence.
No. Because there is another kidnapper. The two of them made good use. Yeah, no. Shut up, dummy. We got him, boys.
This kidnapping wasn't planned by just two people alone.
What kind of proof do you have of that?
Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers.
3? Why are you standing up? I'll have Gumshoe fold you.
4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group, and I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping.
Who? Who is this mastermind?
I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping.
Where is... Oh, there he is. Lance Amano?
Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself.
There goes the songs.
Recall what he said to us, what he said when he appeared before us.
See the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't. I didn't see their faces, but 2, one was a woman.
However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said.
But I know I only saw 2 people. This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them.
Oh yes, about when you were being held. I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive?
I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? Here we go. Lance's testimony. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room, blindfolded the entire time. The kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I can.
So, through the underground passageway, I assume?
Are you okay? Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right?
No, not quite yet.
How can you not? Why do you look at me with icy daggers in your eyes? Because he's a prosecutor, and because they're all like that.
I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth, and should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. There was a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little. Press time. So press on him making his escape? Question mark? How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was... No, it wasn't. It was just jammed. Which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape. I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I mustn't let it go unexamined. The door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway. Are you sure about that? Where's the fucking... Yeah. You say that the door leading outside was locked, but was it really? We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena? Yes, that's correct. Why do you have the alligator clip on? That's just unnecessary. Then take a look at this. Here we go! What is that, a sword? It's not especially reliable if it's one. It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape? Why didn't I? I was disoriented. Yeah, that's it, I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make it look like yourself was the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to that door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own. You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. And what would that be? A motive. What else? Do you honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him... Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, no. I just started thinking that letter from Viola, it's not a love letter at all. That bitch was trying to come collect. She loves Furio Tigre. But this is after Furio Tigre. So she can't love anybody. She just wants her money. Hey. Fuck it. Would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself. Gotcha, pussy. This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit this crime. Where is it? To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Did those handcuffs come off him for a second there? Looks like it hard being the son of a rich man, too. It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your old man, huh? Alright, I give up. I abducted myself. Lance! Where did that wind come from? It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that 1 million, but now that dream is over. Oh, Lance. Then are you giving yourself up? Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money, that's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. Okay, so how did he get shot? We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the blue badger costume. I mean, the person Officer Meekin saw was Miss Pops. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. And Oliver put on the bad badger costume, took the suitcase with $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away. Don't fucking peek. I see what you're doing there.
and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly. I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father. Wally, then it really was you? I don't believe so. I still don't believe this. It doesn't really seem like... It doesn't seem right. Why would... Why was Oliver... Because that's the problem. Why did Oliver... Because I don't think he did it for the money. He had to have known that, that what's her name? That Lauren was his daughter, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. Chain of events. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling a suitcase with the 1 million in it. Also, wouldn't we have the $1 million? We'd be able to find it if that's the case. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot, the other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life. I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Ollie, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn to something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was? If what she says is true, are you saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? Well, you would be surprised to how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay? Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is listen very carefully to confession one more time and you'll see. Yeah. You heard that, that the badger pointed the gun at you, but he was wearing the bad badger costume, so his gun was just attached to his hand. He was just holding his hand up. Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yes, I got a very good look at it while I was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Did you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself, but it's true. My father's left arm... Doesn't... Yeah, the blue badger, or the bad badger, has a gun in his left hand. So, this is... So, it was a real gun then, right? Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought. But if he was pointing with his left hand, then he would have the gun in his right hand. He wouldn't be able to carry the suitcase. Or he would have had that unless he was the one who took that gun off, right? But then wouldn't Lance have known about it? Wouldn't he have said something about it? Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course. That badger pointed the gun in his left hand at me, aiming to shoot me dead. Could it be that... Let's... What do we have, right? Because obviously this seems like the most obvious, but this doesn't necessarily prove that he couldn't have had a gun in his left hand. Right? Maybe she's saying that she saw it on her left-hand side, but she said it was in his left hand, right? Unless he ends up, like, being left-handed or something? Dominant hand. Oh, well, I mean... Yeah, actually, hold on. This works. How could he have shot you with his non-dominant hand? It's kind of weird that they have dominant hand right there, and I should have noticed that. I have here a dossier on your father.
And according to this, your father was right-handed.
Ah, then...
The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon.
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand. What the fuck? Okay, so... What would have... I assume that if I would have presented this, then I would have just been wrong. Which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that?
Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying?
I thought of an untimely and offensive Photoshop idea. Stay tuned. Oh, great.
Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it.
Enough with the smugness. Out with it already.
Miss Pops told us earlier.
Yep.
According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops?
Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face. If that's the case, even I could see there's a huge contradiction.
Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger. And yet, the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong.
No. No, it's correct. It could have been, he could have been wearing the Proto Badger body with the Bad Badger head, right? So both are correct?
They are both correct.
Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands.
Guys, if this is all you can identify, that doesn't necessarily mean that he was wearing the full set.
The costumes have two parts to them, a head and a body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Pop saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger?
A different badger?
Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the Bad Badger that Miss Pop saw was...
Proto Badger? Has to be Proto Badger, right? Yeah. What the heck is it? It's the Proto Badger.
Yes, it's a real simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the blue badger costume, so we can eliminate that one, and the pink badger is the wrong color, so it would have been incredibly obvious. All that's left is the proto badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the proto badger costume?
That would be Lance. Oh. Not wearing pants, that's indecent exposure. If Donald Duck has been able to get away with not wearing pants for years, for damn near fucking a century, right? I'm pretty sure that the rest of the Badgers can get away without wearing pants. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lanzamano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? Hey, Donald Duck wears a shirt at least? Alright, so if you're arguing that that's not indecent exposure, go outside without wearing pants tomorrow. Just a shirt. Let's see how far you get before you get the cops called on you. On top of which, he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing.
That stage was set up in the stadium That stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than a setup, and its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing that she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim, it was all done so that she would pull the trigger.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What exactly would I have... Why exactly? Never mind. It's the bad 50%, yeah. Why exactly would I have done... Why exactly would I have had to do all that?
There is but one reason, Lanzamano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Oliver Deacon.
What? No. That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now.
Just out of curiosity, Hand. Lance, which is your dominant hand? left-handed, but what does it have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pops, our attacker held a gun in his left hand.
Ha! Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. Also argue that I was a duck, I could go outside with no pants. Yeah, if you were a duck, you'd be able to go outside without a shirt as well. More importantly, what kind of fucking badger looks like this? Ain't no badger I've ever seen. I've seen a couple pictures of badgers. What kind of badger is that? It's a police badge, of course. They just put an R on the end of badge, but if you do that, you have to realize that badger is in fact a word and a name of a particular animal. Is there really any other example of that where you just slap a letter on the end of something and it becomes the name of another animal? Maybe like orc and orca, but no. Don't scald me, talk to Gumshoe. Look, we know Gumshoe is just he's just a little bit dumb. As much as we fuck with Gumshoe, he's just a little dumb. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto-Badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right? Well, not if the person that had the gun was shooting blanks, you moron! Oh my god.
Of course. Logically, if he'd have been shot, he would have probably been here. He probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well, and prepared accordingly. This should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet.
Where is it? The missing model gun.
We found one half of a bad badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks.
What?
Miss Pops, where is the gun that you used now?
I threw it away into the sea.
What? That makes it a bit tough to verify that what it was, although I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question.
The Blue Badgers can't claim animal arguments, they don't need pants. That is my closing statement. Unfortunately for you, the defense is not resting, and we are not finished. If they are indeed based on a police badge, when was the last time you saw a clothed police badge? We're done here. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture.
I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high.
Okay, let's pretend that you're right, and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't know yet.
Ha! I knew you were full of it.
However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Obviously, they aren't actual police badges. When was the last time you saw a living police badge? When was the last time you saw an actual fucking being that looked like this? When? Please wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained.
Came back to the hideout long after the other two. Okay, by that time Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. You wear pants until you get clearance? That's not true at all. Think about all the undiscovered creatures that are out there that aren't wearing pants. There are pantsless beings in the depths of the ocean that you will never see wearing pants. And it's a damn shame. After that, the two of us put our costumes on and made our escape. Bigfoot right now, just ass out. And what do we get to do here? He just no. He's Bigfoot. Bigfoot got the fucking ass out, and you're gonna tell me that Bigfoot should be wearing pants because he ain't got clearance? The abominable snowman is up in the Himalayas, pantsless. Loch Ness monster, pantsless. None of them fuckers wearing pants. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? Get pants on him, fuckers. Hey, all I'm saying is your statement of you wear pants until you get clearance cannot possibly be 100%. That cannot be the end all be all. Because we know of pantsless beings that exist. We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes, which means that the victim was still alive at that time. Wouldn't you agree?
Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail.
Alright. Alright. Came back to the hideout. That time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Deacon. It tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. Wasn't that where fucking... That's where Miles was fucking tied up. What? No.
Hold it! You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
And are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. It's done. Check the server. Let's see this. Who in here doing illegal shit? Is this how we found the crime scene? Because I thought we found the crime scene first and then Maya came in. We didn't see Maya there first, did we? Or am I brazy? Am I losing my mind? No, Maya was there? Okay. Huh. Interesting. That was how we found it? Okay. It's been a minute, so I can't possibly be 100%. That just had to be Mr. Deacon.
She saw Bad Badger hit.
You mean the one that was next to me? You dummy?
So the tied-up Mr. Deacon was still in his Bad Badger costume.
Yes, and?
It would appear that she would misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection?
Raise that shit.
The person you saw was not the victim.
What? Why not?
I will tell you why not with this. This, Miss Pops, shows us that the person you saw was not the victim.
Bad Badger's head.
Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
The person you actually saw was this person.
Me, nigga, me.
It was me.
I told you I was going to get as much mileage as I could out of that gun picture. I mean, fair enough. I could probably give you a more clean shot, considering that one was taken in the dark. Quite literally only being, like, illuminated by my computer screen.
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me, even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran off. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon, and if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe that we can assume the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right?
That's
You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on, and then made your costume escape together, or so you pretend.
What do you mean he pretended?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape and then doubled back to the hideout, probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self.
Yep. I don't know why you'd go back. I would just leave the fucking head on him.
And to create his fake prison with a sword. He then escaped via the passageway.
If you do the first edit I'm making is put the Franziska on Karma Rule 34 in the motherfucking bag, I mean, fair enough. Motherfuckers better start drawing more Franziska art before I just get upset. It kind of looks like, with these two sprites next to each other, like fucking Lance is holding on to Shilong. Like he's scared. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth.
Tidal wave?
We've heard a lot of come out of your mouth, yet I've yet to see a single shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment. All that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right, you were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor.
Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing.
Who said that?
Ernest? Oh, is he gonna help?
Mr. Romano.
Oh, Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad, yeah, nah, Pops is gonna have to beat your ass. Trying to steal my $1 million? Nope. Nope. Let's see, you are the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make it up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Ah, do you now?
Is that what I think it is?
It's the bad badger costume the victim was wearing. And a gun! Couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea.
So no one in this country who actually obeys the law.
There. Agent Lang, please calm down.
The heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Romano complete freedom to do as he sees fit. Damn.
What?
The Chief of Police? What the... Just who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
There now.
There's no need to be so upset. I'm not a cop from this country, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren.
What?
You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. Okay, so, slight problem. If the gun was thrown into the ocean, wouldn't have a shit for fingerprints on it. Just want to let y'all know that. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around.
That's it. These are the case-making pieces of evidence. I'll be the judge of that. I won't rest until I inspected
Every suspicious-looking nook and crannies.
What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume.
Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable.
Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here?
Wasn't the mirror broken in the room that was next to where Miles was being held? Isn't this a Gotham? Let's look at the chambers inside this revolver.
Could this gun be the actual murder weapon?
Revolver data jotted down in my organizer. Okay.
This bullet hole. It looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by gunpowder. This is the most important fact.
Did he shoot himself? What? Why is that?
Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range.
Victim's costume data organized or updated in my organizer. Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Don't let me fuck you up. Decisive evidence. Yeah, I'm gonna fry your ass. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun, and they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. Oliver was also after Lolly's life, so Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense.
The fingerprints on the weapon, huh?
Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly, but in the end all I can do is watch as she takes the punishment for her crimes. Damn. She belonged to the streets, huh?
That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie.
You wound me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence? Yeah. There are fingerprints on that murderous gun? Is that even the murderous gun?
Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops?
There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed.
I find that to be a bit peculiar.
What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pop's prints should be on that gun to begin with.
Yep. Especially if she was wearing a fucking costume that covers her hands. And if it was tossed in the fucking ocean. Oh, well, I mean, I guess.
It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume.
Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found the fingerprints.
Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at any time?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Pop's prints were found on the gun. Do you understand now, Mr. Romano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer.
But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right?
You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Lance. What? No way. I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right?
That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence.
How? I'm Miles fucking Edgeworth. I'm going to have the evidence.
The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. This whole affair is simply not true because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all.
The fucking bullet hole? What? Wait, do we have the victim's costume? That should be... Nope. Where... Do I not have a picture of the... Am I losing it? What? No. No. So the evidence that just got brought to us, I only have the mirror fragments and the revolver. But or not the mirror. Yeah, the mirror fragments and the revolver. So I should have the actual costume too, right? For where the bullet hole was? Oh, well, I mean... Never mind, I guess it just got updated.
Let us take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium.
This is the part of the costume that proves it. The bullet hole.
The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range.
So then, you mean the murder Miss Oldbag saw at the stadium really was...
Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn.
Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then?
Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were just before I was in prison was
the haunted house.
I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here.
Haunted house. That's a big-ass haunted house. Gatewater Land kinda suck, low-key. If I'm keeping it a bean with y'all, Gatewater Land kinda suck. Who wanna come here? You got a big-ass haunted house, a stadium for a show, one roller coaster, a shitty plane ride, and a Ferris wheel. Oh, and I guess the Wild Wild West area, but what's even in there? Gatewater Land suck.
I think it's not unreasonable to assume that the murder took place in the haunted house.
The haunted house?
Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed here. What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house.
The mirror shards. The Triforce shards.
These were inside the costume that the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror.
A mirror? And what does that have to do with anything?
Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous.
However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with that revolver in the haunted house. After that, you stole the blue Badgermobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the blue Badgermobile was stolen confirms this as fact.
Miles, my boy, say no more.
I'm sorry, Mr. Romano, but I cannot do that.
Be quiet. Yes, please, do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor.
What?
Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout? Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house. You see, isn't it possible that the fragments got into the costume there?
But, Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low.
Probability? Lang Z says, on Truth's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you?
Do I have solid evidence that the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no.
See, since you don't have any evidence, shut up.
I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. That time, the only people at the haunted house besides myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Lang, I have a special request.
Yeah?
I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house.
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth.
Alright, permission granted. But you're not to touch a single thing, got it?
That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is.
Shh. Sheena. I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval. Who was that? No. Let's hold on for a second. There is no need to obtain approval.
Mr. Romano?
Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena. It's the deed to the haunted house.
The deed.
Read it out loud. Gatewater Land Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million paid full in cash.
What?
As you can see, I'm now the legal owner of the haunted house. Are you kidding? When did you... I ran into the owner of the park earlier, and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye.
That $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was...
Oh, that's right. The disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? You stole the ransom money to hide evidence. If this doesn't prove that we can, like, this is... If you want to say we're barring you entry, you need a warrant to go in there, then we can just say, no, we now have probable cause because you stole the ransom, and go check it out. I don't have any more use for it now, so you may have it back.
You've used the ransom money.
My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. We can still go in.
While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Romano was out there preempting us.
Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper.
Mr. Romano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever.
To be continued. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Save successful. March 13th, 4:27 p.m., Gatewater Land main gate.
If I can't get permission to investigate the crime scene, then the truth will be lost.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
Okay.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing spacing out? Have you forgotten? There's only one thing you should do at a time like this.
And what is that?
When the people are in a bind, the hero of justice appears to save the day. Look, you just leave it to me, for I am Kay Faraday, the second of the great Yatagarasu.
But I thought you were a thief, not a hero.
The Yatagarasu is noble and always a thief to justice.
That's... of course.
If we have enough information, I can recreate the inside of the haunted house with this. Plus, if we then factor in everyone's testimony,
you can recreate exactly what happened when I dropped off the ransom money. Maybe you'll figure out some new information through this. It's worth a try. Agent Lang?
So you want to use your little toy? Be my guest. Okay, hang on. You're about to witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
Detective Gumshoe, is there a copy of the haunted house blueprint among the police's reference documents?
Yes, sir. We got it just in case we needed it for the kidnapping case. Alright, I'll input the haunted house data then. What is this? Where are we?
It's like we're inside the haunted house. Even if we can't inspect the real location itself, the path to the truth still slumbers here. If I can successfully navigate my way using logic, I'll ultimately arrive at the truth. Now then, I believe I'm ready to investigate the crime scene.
Investigation start? Okay, what should I recreate first?
You haven't figured it out yet?
Maybe I have and maybe I haven't, but I'm going to make you do all the hard K. Just help.
Very well, I'd like to inspect the moment in which I was ambushed by my abductor. The two of them were definitely in this place at that time. If I can verify that, it may provide me with a new lead. I had just come out into the hallway after leaving the money inside the dining room. At that time, I saw a badger slumped over on the floor at the end of the hall.
What was a badger doing all the way down there?
I also thought it strange. However, I thought that maybe it was simply a mannequin that was set there for atmosphere.
Do you know which badger it was?
No, it was too dark to tell. All I saw was its silhouette.
In that case, I'll just program a badger silhouette in for now. Okay, programming complete.
Then I started walking towards the exit.
And that's when you were struck from behind, right?
Yes.
But that's odd. The hallway is a dead end. Where did your assailant come from?
There was only one location I can think of.
You're really gonna make me... Okay. I fucking guess so.
That doll I saw really wasn't a doll. It was in fact a costume kidnapper.
Oh, so he used the costume as the perfect camouflage to blend in with the rest of the house.
Precisely. He waited until I had made the drop-off and was about to leave. Then, just as he saw me take a step towards the exit, he stood and launched his attack. I can think of no better hiding place than this.
Hey, not bad. I'm beginning to think I should steal this tactic for myself.
Just don't use it to do anything criminal, Kay.
When you walk in?
Well, Lance.
Well, what are you asking me for?
As one of the kidnappers, I figured I should give you the chance to confess first.
I was one of the kidnappers, but I don't know anything. I did come up to the haunted house, but I never set foot inside. I left Oliver in charge of picking up the ransom money.
You didn't set foot inside. Is he telling the truth, or is this another lie? Alright, then you're claiming that it was Mr. Deacon who assaulted me?
Yes, I'm sure it was him. Okay, and putting the new info now. Mr. Deacon was the bad badger, right? Since the bad badger has a gun attached to his right hand, I'll have to change it so that the weapon is in his left hand.
Alright. Now, to verify the facts of this recreation.
Investigation time? Yeah, haunted house. Fuck off, Lance, quite literally. Alright. This is actually a really cool... I fuck with this as a mechanic. I kind of wish that we got this in later games. Bro, look at him just standing there menacingly. That's pretty fucky. The fact that there's 3 of them is pretty neat. But also, let's look at... These mirrors aren't broken at all. Okay. When you take a look around, it almost feels more like a house of mirrors. Yes. So, why are none of them broken, Kay?
Indeed. Who has ever heard of this many mirrors inside a haunted house before?
Well, at least we know that this is the real crime scene thanks to these mirror shards. Okay. At least we got logic. Hey, wait. These shards, there's something different about them.
Oh?
The ones we found earlier are thicker than the shards these mirrors, or thicker than the shards from these mirrors on this wall. Okay, could that just be a problem then? And look, there's some sort of design on the back too.
The pieces from that costume are certainly different from the other mirrors. What does this mean? Could it be that our pieces are not pieces of these mirrors?
Mirror fragments updated. Okay. Alright, so... what is... Okay, so he had to have had the weapon before coming over here, right?
You didn't recreate the weapon.
Well, I can't exactly recreate something I know nothing about. So tell me, what were you hit with? I don't know, seeing as I was fucking knocked out.
The attack came from behind, so I have no idea, but I had doubt it was someone's bare hands.
Okay then, where were you hit?
I was hit on the right side of my head, just above my temple. There was a bit of blood, but it wasn't anything serious.
Ouch, sounds painful.
Why are you smirking like that when you say it?
It's just your imagination. Now let's see. I wonder if there's anything in the hallway that could have been used as a weapon. That sword, but that's about it. I'm looking for something the culprit could have used to hit you with. I have to... Okay, so the evidence that I can present is that?
I have it. There was indeed one such object lying here in this hallway. A prop sword.
Are you talking about this thing here?
Yes, although we did find it in the kidnapper's hideout. Wait, yes. It's possible that the culprit took it with him after using it on me.
To leave no evidence behind, right?
Correct. It may be worth a more thorough examination yet.
Okay, so what test do you want to run on this sword? Luminol.
The culprit was wearing a costume at the time, so fingerprint analysis is useless. Let's run a luminol test. It's possible that some of my blood found its way onto this. Agent Lang, may I ask you for your cooperation in this matter?
Like I have a choice. Sheena, call the lab boys. Understood.
Except for a dab on the left side, it would appear that the blade is spotless.
So it must have been the left side of the prop that hit you then, right? So if it was the left side, then somebody was hitting me with their right hand? I don't know at this point. My brain cannot do the math. Okay, I'll update the recreation with this new piece of info. Alright. Well, rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Alright. So, if it was held in the left hand and it's going to hit me on the right side, the blood couldn't have gotten on the left side, right? It had to have been held in the right hand, right? Also, this guy's wearing pants. Where's his gun? Oh, well, there it is. It was just hidden behind the fucking box. But no, I think this is the one that doesn't have the gun in the hand. I think the gun has been ripped off of this badger. And in the next instant, the badger will swing his left arm, complete with weapon in hand.
Yes, to club me with the left side of the prop sword.
Shall they recreate the moment of impact? I want to see the pained expression on your face.
It's just fine the way it is. Wait, maybe not. Is it just my imagination, or is something not quite right?
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Technically the broken prop again?
Finally, I found a clear contradiction of facts about this sword. Except for a bit on the left side, the sword is absolutely spotless. However, if the culprit had used his left hand, the blood would be on the opposite side.
The opposite side?
If the culprit had held the sword in his left hand, then the sword's right side would hit.
I see. Well, the blood was on the left side of the sword, right?
Which means that he used his right hand to hit you. Exactly. This prop sword has a large handguard attached to the hilt. It would be impossible to hold it with two hands while wearing a costume with such big hands. Therefore, it couldn't be the left hand or both hands. It must have been the right.
I'll change the data to reflect a right-handed swing.
Not yet, Kay. There's no sense in changing anything yet. If you change the parameters to the right hand, it'll only create a new contradiction.
Changing the prop sword would conflict with the fucking Badger Bible. Because he has a gun in his right hand.
Bad Badger already holds a gun in his right hand, so he can't hold a sword in addition.
Hey, that's right. Then what now? If it wasn't his left or right hand,
it means that the one who struck me could not have been the Bad Badger.
Are you
paying attention, lads. Mr. Deacon could not have been the one who struck me, which leaves only you as our primary suspect.
Fine, it was me. I hit you.
It appears that you lied to me yet again, but see how quickly they catch up to you, Lance.
Wait, isn't Lance left-handed?
Ah, yes, but that's what makes this deception all the more interesting. He uses his right hand to make it look like Mr. Deacon had been the one to strike me. Where you see, firing a gun with one's non-dominant hand is difficult, but that level of dexterity isn't required to swing a prop sword. Okay, please input this new data. The one who hit me from behind was Lance. Or should I say the Proto-Badger.
You got it. Here I go. We did it. Oh, we got him, boys.
Now we have a faithful recreation of the situation around the attack on me.
Alright, all we have to do is examine this new recreation and... Lang, what do you want?
And what exactly is so funny, Agent Lang?
The amusing little gadget sure packs a punch, right, Sheena? Yes, it was all I could do to hold my laughter in. Hey, don't make fun of Little Thief, you mean old werewolf. He and Mr. Edgeworth bring out the best in each other. You've had your little fun, but now it's my turn. I've sat quietly by, listening, but the crude conclusions you two keep spewing don't whet this wolf's appetite. There's no guarantee that your toy will always show the real situation at any given time. All it displays is whatever information you put in there, right? Well, when you put it that way, your suppositions are wrong. It's not your fault, so I'm gonna let you in on this. There is a trick to this haunted house.
And what may that be exactly?
A trick beyond what your tiny imaginations can produce. Sheena! Here you are. Now then, what you missed, girlie, is written right here in this pamphlet.
The 7 Wonders of the Haunted House, the Disappearing Badger.
What is this? I'd say that someone around here is a fond of theatrics. And as you can see, they set a doll down at the end of this hallway for that purpose. Hey boy, what's up, Wish? Basically, the blue badger you saw was just a stupid doll. Gatewater data updated.
How can this be?
Guess that throws your whole theory about it being your attacker right out the window. But that can't be right. Maybe the culprit hid the doll somewhere. And then he laid down and pretended to be it instead. If the criminal couldn't even hide himself in the hallway, how could he hide a giant doll? Do you get it now, thanks to your presumptions? Your logic started off weak and led you to the completely wrong conclusion. Now get off your high horse. Mr. Edgeworth.
Okay, I wonder if you could please input the new information for me.
You don't know when to quit, do you?
I can't quit, not until I've declared that I found the truth. Agent Lang, for the additional information, you have my thanks.
There you go again. We'll see if I care. Okay, I'm updating the recreation now. Alright, let's go look at the boy. That looks really weird. Look at how it changes from the blue badger into the proto badger all of a sudden.
If the slumped-over badger was just a doll, where was my attacker hiding?
Well, that's what we're going to find out, right? So come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go.
Yes, let's. This recreation can't be right, which means there must be a contradiction somewhere.
Oh. What's going on here? I'll rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Ooh, do I just look at the badger? I just look at the badger, I think? Oh, not deduce. Back up. Back. Examine.
This blue badger is just a doll for use in this haunted house.
I bet the one who killed this blue badger was the bad badger, right?
According to the Blue Badger Bible, it says that they are each other's worst enemy.
Also, wait, are the straps opposite? All because one's an ally of justice and the other's a vile criminal with a gun? Yeah, no, his straps are on backwards when he's sitting down.
Perhaps they were just destined to battle each other, much like the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate.
A boy is in here solving a murder. Hey, this is kind of like that tokusatsu show I'll be watching. Also, but yeah, maybe I should deduce this. Bible time.
Hold on a second here, there is something wrong with this blue badger.
Huh? Like what?
The way the belt is on him should be opposite of how it should be. Did you make a mistake?
It can't be. I inputted the exact image data as... I input the image data exactly as it is in the pamphlet.
So then why is the blue badger dressed up in reverse?
It's a mirror image. Ugh. Alright. So it's just a whole bunch it's a mirror, right? Yeah. I got sleepy just a little bit. Big yawns. Don't pay too much attention.
Kay, do you remember what you said earlier?
What I said earlier about what?
About how this building might as well have been a house of mirrors.
A house of mirrors? Oh, that would explain the reversed or mirror image.
Yes, this blue badger might be nothing more than a reflected image of the real one.
Then was the blue badger you saw just a reflection? Yeah, no, the fucking concussion I got was definitely fake.
When I looked down this hall, I thought it was perfectly straight. However, if there was a mirror...
Oh, then it would actually form an L shape, right?
Precisely. I was deceived. The hallway was almost pitch black, and there was a beam in the way that obstructed my view of the other hallway.
Wait, but why build this place like that? It sounds pretty pointless to me.
Okay, this house is just another attraction at an amusement park. They created a mirror wall for a very specific purpose. For one I can point out to you. This was the reason they built the mirror wall.
For the fucking... For the trick.
As it's written here in the pamphlet, the main draw of this attraction is the mystery of the disappearing badger.
You mean they built the mirror for that trick alone? But you said you saw the badger, so it was definitely still there.
That's true at the time, however. Doing this allows someone to make the blue badger disappear in a flash.
You can move the mirror wall?
To remove a reflected image, simply move the mirror. First, the mirror was constructed so it could be moved. Then, beyond where the mirror was, an empty hallway had to be created.
Oh, so they wanted people to see the blue badger, they would open the mirror.
And when they wanted to hide it, they would simply close it again. This explains why the other side of these fragments have a design on them.
Ah, and if the pattern is the same on the other walls in the hallway,
then when the mirror is closed, it would blend in with the rest of the walls. This is the mirror trick that this haunted house employs. And this also proves the existence of a hiding place for the culprit.
Huh? How so?
Think about it, Kay. There was a place that was outside of my field of vision. The culprit kept out of sight by hiding here.
I mean, it seems pretty fucking obvious, right?
There was a very large blind spot, one I could not see beyond, and it was here. If my assailant hit on the other side of this movable mirror,
then you wouldn't be able to see him.
He didn't even need to
Do anything to get to the blue badger doll.
Exactly. All he had to do was wait for me on the other side of the mirror.
Wait, hold on. I just thought of something.
Yes?
Well, shouldn't the mirror wall be broken right now, in reality?
Since we have a few shards of it, we can probably assume it is. Yes, it most definitely is broken. The question is, when was it broken? Since we found these inside the victim's costume, that would mean that the victim was there when the mirror was broken. Wait, that sound.
Leave the money and go now. And Edgeworth heard a crash. Yep.
The sound I heard was most definitely the sound of a mirror breaking. Okay, I'd like you to input some new information.
Don't scare me like that.
Sorry, but I need you to recreate something for me.
Sure, whatever you need. So what do you need anyway?
If you could first recreate this hallway just before I entered the dining room.
You got it.
this, I believe, is how it was right before entering the dining room. Although at the time I thought it was but a single straight hallway. And then I went inside. It was around then that I heard the sound of the mirror shattering.
You heard what? Then...
Yes, I believe it was then that the mirror was broken.
Okay, so when you stepped out into the hallway again...
The mirror wall should no longer exist. Okay, please recreate.
Got it. Seems like we're about to be coming up on the end of this, though, which is fair enough. Wait, but with the mirror gone, the culprit lost his hiding spot. So where did he go in his proto-badger suit, Mr. Edgeworth?
That's easy enough. With the mirror gone, he simply hid himself in the branch hallway.
I think this about wraps it up. Looks like we finally solved everything.
No, not yet. An even larger contradiction has now reared its head.
Huh?
Perhaps you did not notice, but this recreation contains a very troubling inconsistency.
Inconsistency between what I saw and what... Oh, what? This shouldn't be empty? Because Deacon should be in here? Question mark?
Okay, take a good look at the end of the hall.
Oh, there's no blue badger there.
Exactly. The blue badger that I saw in reality is not there. This is the final point of this long chain of logic, the last remaining contradiction.
Okay, so let me get this straight. When you came out of the dining room, you saw a badger, right?
That is precisely where the final contradiction lies.
Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you suppose it was?
I believe this is the real identity of our mystery badger.
It was Mr. Oliver Deacon.
The badger I wasn't saw, in actuality, the dead victim's body.
What?
Agent Lang, the entirety of my complete logic is my final decisive piece of evidence. The murder happened in the hallway of the haunted house at the time of the drop-off, and you can consider the moment I heard the mirror breaking to be the real time of death for Mr. Deacon.
No.
Maybe it was due to their fighting, or perhaps it was the life-shattering bullet. But no matter what the cause was, the hallway of the mirror wall was broken.
Ha! You were in the house at the time, right? Are you telling me that you missed the sound of a gunshot?
There were a variety of sound effects playing at the time. All for theatrics, I assume. The gunshot must have blended right in. Now then, I'd like you to recall something for me. Who was it that was with the victim at the haunted house?
Yep.
Who was the one who had the opportunity to rob the victim of his gun and use it on him? It was you, Lance Amano.
Don't break those cuffs. No. I'm sorry. It's not like I had a choice. Oliver turned on me all of a sudden. He snapped and turned violent right after I hung up with you. He shoved me to the ground and straddled me. I fought back as hard as I could. I grabbed his gun and I shot him. The bullet must have went through his body and shattered the mirror. If I hadn't taken his gun and shot him first, I would have been the one you found. He's a hardened criminal. He's escaped from jail. See, that's justified self-defense. My boy was only trying to protect himself.
That remains to be seen and will have to be resolved in court. Agent Lang, I leave the rest to you.
He would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for your try-hard. Look, it's just Miles Edgeworth. As if you were the one in charge around here. Guys, arrest these two and get them out of my sight. Wait, I had nothing to do with the murder. The only person you should be arresting is Lance. Dad! Bro. Sorry, but you're not slipping away that easily, Mr. Ernest Amano. You tampered with the evidence so that you could cover for your son. Yep. What a great dad you are. Willing to risk it all. Truly touching. By the way, do you know why I'm really here? And how could I possibly know the answer to such an asinine question? You wound me. I came all this way from across the sea just to see you, you know.
You came to see me? What's that supposed to mean?
I have a few things to ask you, Mr. Romano, about a case from 10 years ago.
A case from 10 years ago?
Oh, what's the name they use here for that case? Sheena! It's known as the KG-8 incident. Not the Kevin Garnett... Kevin Garnett?
The KG-8 incident?
Oh, so you remember it. Good. Then you'll recall that the trigger in that case was the Amano Group scandal. Specifically, the charge of an internal smuggling ring.
Smuggling. There's that word again.
And at the time, the person that was arrested as the ringleader was Mr. Romano's very own secretary, Mr. Colin Deveray. Ah, Father. Even though you pushed the crime onto your then secretary, Mr. Deveray, I always suspected that you were involved with the smuggling ring, Mr. Romano. Mr. Deveray was arrested in place of you, which is why when he broke out, you hid him from the police, right? You hid him in exchange for the silence of your dirty little secret. No. Please calm down. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Pretend to be ignorant all you want. We're taking you down to the precinct for a nice long chat. Who there? Who the heck was that? Okay. It's fucking Jock Sportsman and Buddy Faith. And who the heck are you? I'm Jock Sportsman, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Oh, Jocks, thank goodness you're here. Don't jerk me around. This is an Interpol case, so you keep your paws off my suspect. Sorry, but I can't comply. I've got the backing of the prosecutor's office. See, in this country, we prosecutors work with the police to bring cases to court. So if you could please cooperate with me here, that'd be great. Now how about a handshake to seal the deal? Sorry, but I hate prosecutors, the whole lot of you. Guys, arrest the two suspects. Sir! Oh, I almost forgot. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, is it? I'd like to thank you. Thank me. Yeah, for working so hard to fulfill my goal. Hey, is that any way to thank someone? And what the heck is that supposed to mean? You were so relentless with that lance that you forced Ernest to tamper with the evidence. Thanks to that, I finally had a legitimate reason to arrest him. So how does it feel to bite the hand that feeds you?
The hand that feeds me? I'm not sure I follow.
It's no use pretending with me. You're the one, right? You're the corrupt prosecutor that's working for Mr. Romano in the smuggling ring, right?
No, I would never do such a thing.
What the heck? Our intel's never wrong. In your prosecutor's office, there's definitely someone working with the ring.
So Agent Lang suspected my relation to Mr. Romano. That must be the real reason behind his antagonistic attitude.
On top of that, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? There were non-stop rumors flying around about forged evidence with that guy. You're not twisting the truth behind those closed courtroom doors too, are you?
The courtroom is a place where the truth is revealed.
Well, don't worry, it's not only you. There's the whole lot of you can't be trusted. A prosecutor never lost in 40 years. Every defendant must be found guilty. Fueled by those ideas, is it any wonder that the courts produce nothing but falsities and lies?
It would seem that his disdain extends beyond just me. Prosecutors of the courts, why is this man so angry with us all?
Rest assured the next time we meet, I won't be so forgiving. So don't you forget it.
Please wait. Agent Sheena, why does Agent Lang hate prosecutors so?
Lang is the head of the long-honored House of Lang in Zhangfa. The heads of all police-related divisions in that country were of Lang blood.
Were? What do you mean by that? Aren't they still?
They were revered, but that was long ago. They don't hold that sort of sway anymore. And it was all because of the courts.
How can that be?
A prosecutor once withheld and tampered with the evidence one of the Lang detectives found. That evidence's purity was tarnished and cost the Lang family all its honor and trust.
But not all prosecutors are like that.
Even so, I, Lang will never respect the court again, or any prosecutor.
So Agent Lang is a man who hates all courts and is unwilling to forgive prosecutors.
Man, what a piece of work that guy is. Come on, Jim, we better catch up. Yeah, we've still got to deliver that thing to the old man after all. Whole court system was a shit show until Phoenix came along.
Detective Gumshoe, I believe it's time we wrapped up and headed home ourselves.
Yeah, are you going home too, Mr. Edgeworth?
No, I've done nothing but be entangled in one mess after another since my return. If it's alright with you, can you drop me off at my office?
No problem, sir. Excuse me. Yes, what is it? Thank you very much. It's okay. No need to thank me, pal. Just doing my job as a detective. I guess I was fooled pretty badly by Lance. Oh, cruel fate. What's a woman to do when she's been hurt by the one she loves? And to think I never realized my father was right there, and I never said anything to him. I knew it. I'm a failure. Ah, there she goes again, talking to herself.
Miss Pops, I wonder if you know why your father participated in the kidnapping.
No, I have no idea.
Your father died when he was trying to stop Lance, which means that from the beginning he had no interest of the staged self-abduction.
Then why did he...
I believe it was because of your presence, Miss Pops.
Me?
Lance realized that the two of you were related, which is why he used you as a hostage to coerce Mr. Devoray into cooperating.
Father...
As a felon, he could not tell you of his real relation to you. However, as the Amano family butler, at the very least he was able to watch over you. It was all he could do, but that was the shape of his overflowing love for you. Go on, speak your mind.
that is... Thank you very much. I would like to see Lang meet Phoenix. I'd like to see Lang meet Dirk. Could you imagine? That shit would be heat. Everybody should meet Dirk. Dirk's great.
You're welcome, although there is no need to thank me.
No, Lauren, stop. I mean, this man's so much older. Yo, calm down. Leave. Looks like you've completely stolen her away, Mr. Edgeworth. Fucking Edgeworth NTR time. Great. Amazing. Way to go, sir. Your technique is way beyond the level of a great thief.
What are you going on about now?
Wow, your deducing skills may be sound, but you have no street smarts. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. Yeah, I mean, he still hasn't figured out who I am at all. If you haven't remembered in all this time, I guess I'm just going to have to say it. This isn't the first time we've met, you know. What do you mean, pal? Mr. Edgeworth, how do you know this girl? Looks like you've totally forgot me too, Gummy. Gummy. Here, maybe this will jog your memories. What is... I promised I returned this to you one day, remember? Is this one of my cravats?
That single piece of cloth took me back far into my past. To that fateful day 7 years ago.
Oh, there we go.
When I first met then-child Kay and Detective Gumshoe.
But that looks like it's going to be a story for another time. Let's see Lang rise to justice, Minister in Karain. And they'll be rid of both lawyers and prosecutors. Yeah. Turnabout reminiscence. Look at him. Look at him just chilling. He's just chilling. That's Gumshoe just chilling. Alright, but it seems that this game's chapters are relatively short-ish, but we'll try to do 4 all in one run tomorrow, so we don't have to leave anything off. So hopefully that will be the end. Or does this game have 5? Does this game have 5? I think this game has 5, right? So we'll do Turnabout Reminiscence tomorrow, try to get that all done, and then we'll do a slightly longer stream and try to do all of, or at least most of 5 in one stream as well. But with that, I'd like to thank you all very much for coming out, and I'll probably more than likely catch you tomorrow. But until then, peace.